Hello, hello. I hope you can hear me. Hope my mic's okay. Um, this is the stream today. Tomorrow's Friday. I know the panel verse gets very active on a Friday. I may do something Friday evening ish, but what I'm going to try to do is my 12-hour stream this Saturday. And I'm Daniel Barry. Hello, sir. Yo. Um, I don't know if I want to do it Friday night, 12 hours into Saturday morning, but then that's competing with a lot of panel stuff, or just do it Saturday morning, all day Saturday. So that's gonna, I'll decide that. And then I'm also setting up some membership tiers, and I'm gonna roll those out as part of the 12 hour. I might roll them out tomorrow evening. If not, they're gonna be part of the big 12-hour stream. So all that is to say that big stream this weekend, and maybe some pre-streaming Friday night to start getting this community one little step closer to where I'm trying to take it. So that's coming up. As for today, it's just open panel as usual, and I'm gonna check the news and stuff real quick. I've kind of been doing my own little thing today, so I haven't been tuned into the world much. Um, Politics, geopolitics. Mm, that's about it. Twitter, maybe. Oh yeah, there was that Google decision. We were talking about it the other day, and this guy did a whole Twitter thread breaking it down that I'm still not sure I quite understand. But it did say this: the enormous amount of search data that is provided to Google, and part of that is because they found a way to have this monopolistic reach through its default agreements, can help Google train its artificial intelligence models that should be large language models to be better than anyone else's. They did acknowledge that. Like Google's going to have an LLM advantage because of the amount of data it was able to collect relative to the rest of us. Part of me says, well, isn't that just business? That's just what businesses do. They try to get that competitive advantage. It looks like Google got there. Um, at the same time, the justice system. This is government versus corporation. For those of you that think we're living in a government, corporate, centralized government, slave state, whatever you call it, this is them fighting. This is the government trying to fight on our side and protect us and our rights and our freedoms, and not let the power of these tech companies encroach. So the Justice Department agrees or has determined that they are a monopoly. I don't know where it goes from here. There might be appeals, but this is Microsoft went through this. Google, there's some coming at Amazon and Apple, and then so this has been happening for a while with these companies that they've been waiting their turn to face this. And the court thus finds that as to the general search services market, plaintiffs have proven that Google's exclusive distribution agreements foreclose 50% of the general search services market by query volume. These are just notes from the court. All right, here's a few tweets, just random tweets that I saved. I hate how white people in America are demonized for daring to ever introduce the idea that all humans deserve to be treated as equals, while not immediately putting the idea into practice while developing a new heterogeneous nation. Like, wow, you introduce ideas never heard of before in human history, and you're at the forefront of moral progress, and everyone's mad at you, didn't do it perfectly and instantly how they would have liked it. LMAO, I agree. And have one more. One of the greatest obstacles in current day political discourse is both the right and the left believe the other are Nazis. While they both abuse the term, neither of them are entirely wrong, pointing at their authoritarianism. And that's what it comes down to. When I hear words like fascism, Nazi, supremacy, patriarchy, hey, Lauren, I translated that mine into authoritarianism or tyranny. They're worried about somebody consolidating authority or power and tyrannizing over them in whatever form that takes. And as a Satanist, that is my jam. That's what I do. That's why I am one to my very core. That's why I react against the left, the woke, the DEI stuff. That to me is a form of authoritarianism. It's very top down, and the left reacts to things that they see on the right that they believe is authoritarianism. And it may be, it just may be that it bothers me less. I don't consider Roe v. Wade, to overturning Roe v. Wade, authoritarianism or tyranny. It was an emergent part of our political process. But then you could perhaps make the argument for DEI in the places it's gotten a foothold. Anyway, that's the tweets I had to share. Let me see if I have anything going with the AI. I've been using it a lot lately. Um, no, not really. So I'm open. I didn't do a stream earlier. Eventually, I'm going to get on a like regular schedule. I'm going to treat this as a job. Devolution. Uh, which part? What part of what I was talking about? The authoritarianism. I think it is too. I think authoritarianism is a regressive or devolved form of enlightened government. That's why I like it. It rolls me back to a like age of civilization that I feel like I've surpassed. Just like I don't want to go back to high school or grade school. I don't want to go back to authoritarianism or racism or any of the other things that we've progressed from or evolved out of socially. Oh, the court. Okay, when too supreme. The confirmation hearing has nothing to do with their ruling and their legal reasoning the ruling. And all they're doing in the confirmation hearing is answering questions about how they might rule. It's not binding. They're not taking an oath to rule a certain way. That would certainly probably not be legal at all. Um, I have a kind of a guest waiting in the back. Can you tell me who you are? I think I know who you are, but just confirm that you are who I think you are. Or flash if you want. Yeah, okay, we're good. I love my guest today. Um, I don't know if you've met him before. Welcome, Omar.
Hey Jeff, how are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you? It's good to see you. Welcome. Welcome to my humble show.
It's good to be here, man. What's new
What's
with you,
up?
man?
What's new with you? Were you in a trash can?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow, I do. I feel honored. That's how humble we are.
Thank you. So what's new with you, man? Nothing?
Um, I finally hit my numbers and I got monetized. So I've
Congratulations.
been, yeah, I'm in the next phase now. So I'm geared up for that. I'm gonna do a 12-hour stream this weekend. I'm gonna get some membership tiers launched, and
Sweet.
we're at the threshold of the next age. So it's been pretty
Cool.
exciting here.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you very, and thank you for helping out and being a part of all of that.
My pleasure. Anything to help. You know.
Oh. Um, do I trust justices that lie? I go by the ruling and the legal reasoning in the ruling, and because that's the official record, and so do I does their reasoning is the reasoning sound to me? Does it make sense? Does it sound like sound legal reasoning? And often it does. Almost all the time it does. So that's all I go by. So that's from an American point of view. As someone that actually lives in the U.S., is how I evaluate my Supreme Court system that you're looking at from up there in
Is
your
he
country.
is he in Canada? Not Lowe's.
Unfortunately, he is. Yes.
Okay, I'm I metal detect with a Canadian also, from Alberta.
Oh, okay.
That's when we do the stab the ground every Friday the 13th.
Is it only on Friday the 13th?
No, it's pretty much like like the third time
Are you
Friday of
doing
the
it
month or whatever.
tomorrow?
No, I don't think so. He did it last week though.
Oh, okay.
He does it. He does. I guess it's whenever they have free time because I mean, there's only like like one or two Friday the 13th a year, maybe if that. But
So
we
what do
do it
you
every.
have coming up, or what have you been doing interesting?
Really just just trying to like get things created here, but it's just like not really like going the way you want it to go. It's just always like a hitting a wall. I got a lot of problems with like like getting the whole like more be able to like just get the nerve to go on and stuff like that. That's my hardest thing. Like just I
Like
have the
just
stuff
the
prepared.
internal motivation to even.
Exactly. You're hitting it. It's like it's a problem. Like I don't like what I put out and then I just pretty much delete it right after I put it up. So I mean like I deleted well, I didn't delete, but I just put them all in private. It's just, not happy with what I created. I got the metal detecting videos which I'm fine with, but when I did the lives, I didn't really like them. Like I like the I guess the gaming and stuff, but not a lot of people are into that stuff. So I mean it's it's kind of like, hitting the wall there, but that's all right.
Oh, so there's some kind of no. Oh, hang on. Is that your? Sorry, I had your channel running. Um,
Oh,
I put his channel. Give him give him some likes and subscriptions and all that.
thank you.
What kind of content were you like? Was okay. I have two questions. What kind of content are you trying to make that you're not happy with, and what kind of people are showing up at the panels? Is it the guests you weren't happy with, or just the way the panels went?
Well, it's not that. It's I guess it's just that I'm not happy with like my own self stuff. I like the people, I like the guests and everything like that. I just didn't like what I had to say. Like after I watched it, like it's like I'm my biggest critic, I guess. Also, like I just basically have stuff that I like it. I mean, the metal detecting stuff is fine with me because I go out there and find the stuff, but just hearing myself talk on some of my own streams, I just don't like it, and I just basically just delete it.
Hmm.
I have it just sitting there, and I don't know. I guess it's just not working my way. I'd rather do, like comedy stuff. I love comedy. I'll say that. I love the news. I like to have like type of satire type, like comedy news mix where people laugh when they hear stuff because it's a lot easier because everything seems to be bad news in the world that they put out. But I like to laugh about things and like to make people laugh, and that's just like what I like to do. But it doesn't seem to be working. I've reached out to a few other comedians and stuff, but I guess it's just politics maybe. I think they figure out like politic wise, and I think that's the biggest like hurdle. Like I mean, people just don't like if you aren't on the same team as them, or if they just suspect that you're not. It's really hard.
Real like just like the shared love of comedy alone is not enough to transcend that.
Well, I'll say this: like I'm not a conservative. I'll say that. Like I'll say I'm like not red
An
or
enlightened
blue. I'm
centrist.
I say like purple, like Woody Harrelson would say. Like I believe in some things. I do think that Medicare should be like we should have universal Medicare in this country, and like that's not really like a Republican thing or conservative like issue. They don't want to do that stuff, but it's like I could see through the bullshit on both sides, and I just know that it's a two-headed snake. That they're all doing the same thing at the end. Like the Republicans say they're going to do stuff, and then they just sit on their hands, while the other party just spends like maniacs, and the other ones they're all for it because they vote the same damn way. I mean, all this money that went overseas was because the Republicans voted for it. It wasn't the ones that they didn't put it up there at first, but they voted for it because they were in control of Congress. So I mean, like, it's that's why they when Trump got in there, that was the biggest thing because both parties hated him. So I mean, it's kind of like when people sense that you're that way, or they think that you're that way, they don't like you. It's really weird with comedy because they're all liberals, but they act like they're conservatives or they have conservative values, and then they hide behind the comedy thing to like say, "Oh, I didn't really mean it that way. I'm a comedian. I could say whatever I want." So it's like they try to play both sides of the fence, and then if they don't like you, you're not really like part of the crew. And I've been part of this comedy stuff, like not doing like stand up particularly, but I've known these people since I'd say like early 2000s or maybe even 90s, some of
Wow.
them, like with these comedies stuff. And it's like, I've been to some shows. I've been a guest on like an XM radio show and stuff like that, doing like comedy and stuff. And I found out that when I got there that they were all like cool with me, and then they didn't like who I was. Like I literally found out from the person that I was with that they didn't like me, who I was. And it's like, well, what the hell did you invite me there for? Like, I like to tell jokes. I thought we were all on the same fucking side. We're from Jersey. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to swear. But like, like I thought that you'd have a camaraderie. And it's like, they just don't like who you are. And it's like, I never really think that of people. Like, it's like, the last thing I thought that somebody would like hate that I'm making a joke to try to make people laugh in the same room with people that are part of comedy. Like it turns into like a freaking like a cluster F, if you don't mind me saying. Like I don't know what the hell to say, and I don't know like what's not going to be taken as offensive, because it seems like they get offended by anything, and then it's only their comedy is what's funny. I don't know.
Y- Yeah, you talking about the West Coast?
East Coast.
Oh, oh, this is on the East Coast. They're doing this.
Yeah, I'm in Jersey. I'm like I try to
So
do
these
stuff
are
like
Jersey people doing this.
Jersey, New York, all like the tri-state area.
Damn.
I mean, Jersey's a blue state.
I
New
thought
York's a
you
blue
you
state.
had moved from Jersey to like L.A. or something, and you were like the
No,
lone person,
I'm like stuck
like
here, dude.
fish
I'm
out of
like,
water. This is happening in your backyard with you
well,
among your own people.
well, they're not my people. I wouldn't say they were my people. Like they never were. Like that's why I always wanted to be like part of the group to do like comedy and stuff like that. And you would think they would welcome some people in or whatever, but like after 2016, and I really like I've noticed this, the world on the internet also with like metal detecting and stuff, they turn into commies. Like you can't tell a joke or have any political like opinion, even if they agree with it anyway. They're the only ones that can express it. Like it was getting ridiculous to the point where like some of these places where I would go into a metal detecting stream, and like the guy would be like, well, I don't usually talk about politics, but I just want to say this one thing. And then he would say something really thing that would enrage everybody, and then nobody could say anything back. And it's like, what the hell do you think we're all in this place for if we can't talk? Like, I mean, like we're all supposed to be people here. I'm a monster, but I'm a person behind the camera. But I mean, it's like, I'm just sitting here trying to like make a joke, and it's always everybody's got to look for the negative things in it, and they don't want to laugh because of who I am or something. I try to make jokes, but it's like it doesn't work half the time. It's like it just seems like comedy died a long time ago, and it's just never coming back. Like, I mean, some people laugh about little things here and there, but I mean, like the TV and comedy, it sucks. I mean, I've only seen like certain things that have actually come close to what used to be. Have you noticed that like comedy isn't comedy anymore?
What's the funniest thing you've seen lately, like in the last year?
Maybe I'd probably say like like Ryan Reynolds like movies. He has some sort of comedy, but he always like falls back on like making like sexual jokes and stuff like that. That's kind of it. But those are some movies and some comedies. But I haven't really nothing off the top of my head I could think of. But I'm just saying, like in general, when you come to like finding stuff that's funny out there. Omar, give an example. You want me to tell a joke? Okay. Well, okay. How many police officers does it take to change a light bulb? Jeff.
Oh, me. I have no clue. I don't know. I was not
None. They
lost.
just
How
beat the
many?
crap out of the room for being dark.
I got that one. I got that joke. Does that make me? Yeah, I got it.
Oh,
That was an
okay.
example of a joke. I was gonna say what I was gonna say because the world you describe sounds miserable, and you sound miserable, and I think that would be very hard for comedy. So I agree with you. But up until today, every time I've seen you on the panel, you've been hilarious. So I didn't
Yeah.
know the comedy wasn't working.
No.
Um, oh, they left. I didn't know the comedy wasn't working because to me on the panel verse, it seems like it is. At
Yeah,
least
I mean,
where
if
I
I'm
see
around
you.
people that are like in the same mindset, I mean, like that's what I mean. You expect you were like you accepted it. I mean, that's the thing. You weren't like against like laughing or having a thing against the person you were hearing it from. So I mean, that's kind of like the thing I'm hearing here.
But
I
that
just
used to be like that used to be comedy. Like
I know.
you didn't know what you were going to hear, and you might hear something that challenged you or walk that edge or something, and that was all part of the experience of
What comedians do you like?
my favorite. Probably the last half decade or so is Tom. What's his name? Segura.
Segura, the
Tom
glasses
Segura.
guy. He has glasses.
No, I think he's kind of bald headed. He's the one
Segura.
that made the really racist, hateful Cajun jokes, which is how I found out about him, and they were actually very, very
Oh,
funny.
okay.
I think he
Oh,
did.
I
He
know
did
who he
like a
is.
Netflix series with what's that? They're like cabin men out in the woods in a cabin.
Oh,
Um,
I
Bird.
don't watch Netflix.
Oh,
I cheap out, dude.
and they have a
I'm very low
podcast with a
budget.
couple of comedians.
I know who he is. I'm looking at his Instagram right now. I recognize the comedian. Yes, I know
But I
him.
haven't watched a comedy special probably in 4 or 5 years. I don't even know if I've watched any during COVID.
Who did you like comedian wise besides that guy? Like, I mean, like, did you have
Well,
any
I
like
grew up
like
with Eddie Murphy. We had
exactly?
all the Eddie Murphy tapes. We listened to him in the dorms. We laughed our ass off. We imitated all the skit. Everybody did. The gays laughed at him. The blacks were laughing. Every single person he made fun of was listening to it and laughing along with him. And so I did like Ellen DeGeneres, her stand-up comedy when she was first starting out. Dennis Leary. I like people like Stephen Wright and
Yes, Stephen Wright's great.
Emo Phillips, and one of my favorite comedians. She wasn't very popular, but her name was Wendy Liebman, and
Okay.
she was real kind of quirky and surreal. I liked Rita Rudner. I like
Yeah,
Margaret Cho. Uh, I don't know.
Stephen
What's
Wright,
her
man.
face? Wanda. I like Wanda a lot.
Okay. Did you ever hear of like Sam Kinison?
I remember Sam
That's the comedy people that I kind of like
and Dice
gravitated
Clay,
toward. Yes. Well, the guy is his
Bobcat.
name is named Ron Bennington. He was like Sam. What the hell is it? Sam Kinnison's best friend, and like he had Ron and Fez. You ever hear of Ron and Fez?
The name sounds familiar.
Well, Fez is gay, so I mean, like that's like he was a
Well,
gay
let me
guy
look
on the
him
show.
up.
He died, I think, a few years
Oh,
ago back because he kept on having heart attacks. Really horrible, I guess, DNA. But he was a
oh
really
no,
good guy though.
I'm looking at him now, but no, I haven't heard of him.
Oh, dude, their comedy show was big with Opie and Anthony on the East Coast. They were like the Howard Stern with like they had XM radio was Ron and Fez and Opie and Anthony, and then Howard Stern came on to XM Sirius, and then he pretty much like took it over. But those were the two competing shows with Howard Stern, and they were hilarious. I mean, Opie and Anthony they broke up also, and then Anthony had a bunch of heart attacks, and then Opie's like on his own, and then Ron's the only one that's out there because Fez died a few years ago. So, but Ron looks exactly like Sam Kinison. Actually, I saw Sam Kinison in concert actually in 1980. I think it was 88 in what the hell was it? Rutherford, New Jersey, with Bon Jovi and Skid Row, and I think what was it? Rod Stewart. I know it was
Oh
Rod. No,
my
Billy
gosh.
Squire. That's what it was. Billy Squire.
Rock Me Tonight. Oh my God.
I saw them do Wild Thing with Bon Jovi and Sam Kinison on stage with Skid Row on there and stuff. It was hilarious. But I went to go see it at Giant Stadium. It was like the biggest, worst seats you ever had. We were literally at the top of Giant Stadium. Like we thought we could fall out. But
Who
have you
is
ever?
this guy? I don't know.
Oh,
We're trying to help him figure that out.
so
He's
yeah.
a disaffected
I'm an
comedian from
unfunny
Jersey,
comedian.
but not more unfunny than I am. I'm vying for that role. Zat, I actually I met Rita Rudder. I went to one of her shows and she was signing. You could buy her book afterwards, and she would sign it. You got to go up at the table and talk to her while she signed her book. So I have her book with her autograph, and I got to
That's
talk to
cool.
her. I was so excited. She was one of the first comedians I got to like interface with.
Who was she married to? I forgot the guy's name. Was that
Oh yeah,
was
let
it
me
Bill
see.
Murray or something, or was that I forget? Oh no, it was Gene Wilder. That's what it was.
Yeah,
Gene Wilder. He did a movie right near my house over here. Remember Hear No Evil, See No Evil with Richard Pryor
Yeah, from
and
like the
Kevin Spacey?
70s or early 80s. The
Oh, it was
old movie.
80s. Yeah, it was 80s. But hello,
Hello.
how are you?
Better than you. I'm not living in a trash can.
You sure about that? Look at where you
Well,
are. I
hey,
think we all live in trash cans around here.
we do. Where
What's
did you
up?
get that wonderful animated avatar?
Oh, I use a Snap camera.
Hmm.
It's actually it's a I guess an app that has like multiple things on it. Like I could be Jada Pickett. I could be
Satan.
be
This
oh
is
yeah, I could
Satan,
be.
everybody. You may have
Well,
seen
this
him
is
before.
Scully. I'm Scully right now, but let's see, where'd my
Scully.
Satan one go? Yeah, because I got a skull. But my
That's
Satan one's
cool.
all up here. Yeah, they have a ton of them in here. I mean, I could actually, I do Trump on Barnabas's channel all the time. So I'm like, that's why if you see Barnabas's Trump ad, that's me doing Trump for Barnabas's channel.
I gotta say, I like this one the best.
Yeah, he's cool. I like this one too.
No,
I'm
really?
partial to
We
him as
match.
well.
Yeah, you look demonic.
Oh, I just out in the sun too long.
Jeff, I made chicken fried steak for the first time tonight, and
Oh yeah, how'd it go?
I haven't tried it because
You doing it now?
no, I made it.
Oh,
I just don't. I'm not impressed with what I did,
oh.
so I'm not gonna try it yet. I'll eat it later.
Did you make the gravy?
Yeah, I did, and I don't know. I get all these grandiose ideas about how good the recipe is going to be, and then when it comes time to make it, I'm like, why am I doing this? It's going to suck, you know? It's bullshit.
Yeah, I don't think there's any wrong with having ideas and like trying to execute them, having creative visions and try to execute them. So it all sounds okay to me. It sounded great the other day when you suggested it.
Yeah, well, it sounded great to me too, but the
It's
reality
just
is,
the execution. I guess I'm saying just I mean don't beat yourself up for dreaming it. I guess it's
yeah,
more the doing it.
yeah, right. It's not the destination; it's the journey.
Yeah. Frank, are you I thought you were like snuggled away with your boobs for hours and hours. Are you finished already? Are you trying to
Why does he
hassle
not
me
like
off the stream
Barnabas?
into another episode?
I see him not liking Barnabas's show. It says,
He doesn't like it. The thing you need to know about Frank is he doesn't like anybody. Nobody.
why don't you like Barnabas? Frank, why don't you like Barnabas? What? Got my hat.
I think I'll say this. I think there are people he likes less than Barnabas.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I just did the Trump thing for fun, dude. I didn't do it for like some sort of like gig or anything like that. I just did it, for fun. Not really.
Was it vertical? He really needs to change his layout. Even if he's
Oh.
going vertical, he needs to put it to the correct size.
Oh, I understand that. I've been trying to help him with that. Like, but the thing is, it's the algorithm really gives his stuff out there when he does that. So I mean, like,
Right,
he
but
gets more
there's
subs.
like there's a way for him to do vertical where he's not some little box
Ah.
at the where you could actually see the people.
That's
So even if
he has
he's
to
gonna
use
do
OBS.
vertical, he doesn't have it maximized.
Oh, he doesn't have it maximized? No?
Yeah,
I
like
didn't know
I
that.
think it's the little layouts at the bottom of the StreamYard screen. He needs to toggle that until he finds the one that makes everything bigger.
Yeah, you know what it is? I think he sometimes when he goes on like, to his old lady's house or whatever like that, he's using her internet. So I think it's like a different computer he's on.
Well, what
So-
is he doing at his old lady's house? Well, like, why even go to her house at all? If all he's gonna do is sit on the panels, he
Well,
could
I
do
guess
that at
he
his
wants
house.
to be, he wants some cuddles.
Does he?
I guess. I mean,
When-
you could ask him. I have
When
no
is he
clue about
getting
that.
these cuddles?
Probably at nighttime, I'm guessing.
Oh, okay.
I'm guessing. I'm just
After he
kidding. I mean,
gets
he's
off
on.
the panels.
Yeah, everybody sits there with their cup of coffee on their individual device and they fucking do their thing, and then at night they cuddle.
I guess is that the new Okay, I will, Frank. I'll just try again and like try after another episode or something.
He hates me. Why do you hate me, Frank?
Uh,
Why does he think I'm an idiot?
He
That's
probably
the question.
hates you because you go on Barnabas and he hates
No, he
Barnabas.
says he likes Barnabas. You wrote, I like Barney. I hate
Ooh,
you.
Barnabas, I'd be a little worried.
See, that's the problem here, Frank. I was just mentioning this to Jeff. Nothing works, and it gets the result that you're giving me. I mean, is that not proof enough, Jeff? That
Don't,
it's
but
just
no, you no, Frank, you cannot take Frank. He doesn't even like me. You
oh, well,
cannot take Frank
Frank, I
personally.
appreciate that you're being honest. I mean, at
He's
least
like
you're
an
honest.
algorithm. He's just running his program.
you're like he doesn't even like me.
Well,
No, he
I'll say this,
doesn't.
Frank. I like you, Frank. I guess you're honest. To honest, brutally honest. That's very good. At
Yeah,
least
he
you're not
does.
kissing
This would.
ass.
Do you have anything on that snap cam that would help? This
Boobs?
might score you point. Yeah.
Oh, I got the background of
Because
boobs. I think.
I watch TV shows with Frank all the time, and every time we watch a new show, after the first episode, what do you think? I hate them all. I hate everybody. I hate everybody. I don't. There's nobody in the cast that I like. That's every show we watch.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. I could find some boobs. I got boobs. I think as a background. Let's see. It's not going to get you in any trouble. I think. Let me
Yeah,
find
you're
it.
not gonna fool back. She has a very
There we go.
eagle eye for this.
You like my background, Frank?
Wow, that's way better than I could do.
Look at how pointy those are over
Frank,
there.
we
Pull that
deliver.
out.
We deliver. We're all about the community.
I have boobs on my head.
Lib gone. Lib done left up out of here. I don't think
Uh oh.
I don't think we're seeing him, her, they again. For me,
Nice.
it's the colors. Like I get, first of all, I'm not a boob guy anyway, but I get distracted by all the pastels, and I lose sight of the actual
Boob.
images. Wow, look at the ones to your right of your head. Is that boobs or eyeballs?
Yeah, they do look like eyeballs.
Those are the fucking flaps. You know, they're like
The little nipplets.
they're just flaps.
We
Side eye.
technically we all have boobs, or at least nips. We all have nips, um, and boobs in potentia, latent boobs.
Well, everyone starts out as a female and then becomes a male through certain genetic manipulations.
I know that really bothers me. Maybe that's my own misogyny, internalized misogyny.
It doesn't bother me, but at the same time, it's like, you know, like what are we? Just fucking, you know, tools for means to an end, you know?
Yes, that's exactly what we are. The minute you're bored, nature is done with you. It's where it does. All it cares is that your DNA gets passed on to the next person. That's all you are, is a vehicle to get that DNA passed on.
Well, if
You
that
as an
hasn't,
individual, whatever happens to you, your little organism, doesn't give a shit about.
if that hasn't happened yet, it's not gonna happen. You're looking at a
Well, then you're a
genetic.
wasted, or
You're
like
looking
then
at
you
a.
have no evolutionary purpose whatsoever,
I
and
am a
neither do
genetic
I.
dead end, motherfucker. I'm a genetic dead end.
Me too. I knew that from a very. I mean, I could if I wanted, but I don't. But I knew at a very early age that that was not my path, and I was okay with that.
Same
Yeah.
here.
I don't know. I always thought that maybe someday I would get married and do the normal thing, but I'm not that stupid. You know, like it just didn't come. It didn't happen because I'm just not able to fall into that fucking stupidity. You know.
I like the Tony Randall's idea of having children at like 90 or something. That's, he pretty much just was there to say hi and then leave, then die.
Here's the keys.
Here's my money.
Yeah.
I just don't have the patience either.
Yeah, especially like after teaching, middle school.
Oh,
That
I couldn't
settled it. What
imagine
if
that,
there
dude.
was ever a question that settled it?
Yeah, the schools are a dead end now. It's you're better off just being on the computer and having your parents watch it because the schools are just like dangerous now. Like I
Well, they
swear to
have
God,
one school trying to ban black clothing because they
oh, I
believe
saw
it,
that.
and they
Ridiculous.
but they smuggled something in there about like pants with big pockets because
Oh,
it's dangerous and you can hide things in it. So
Oh
I'm
yeah,
thinking,
you
what
could
kind of
hide a
school
magazine.
do
well,
what?
I think schools went to
You
shit
could
when they
hide a magazine, like
oh
a
Uh,
weapon
nudie.
magazine, so that you can fucking shoot everyone.
they
Because
were
it's
dealing with this even at the schools when I was teaching in the mid 2000s. Some of them had metal detectors at the entrance and security guards.
Were you teaching at the predominantly not white school?
They were inner city or
Oh,
underprivileged or minority majority.
okay.
Yeah,
My
this is in
aunt was
Vegas.
a principal of an all I think it was an all black school over here in New Jersey. I couldn't imagine doing that. She was a liberal, but
Frank says that it's time for me to get a life. Well, yeah, no shit, asshole. Tell me how.
yeah.
But this is like, how much of a life do you have here in this Panoverse compared to him?
Not at all. I don't have a life at all on the
Because he
panel.
has less of one than you do.
No, the
Because you're at
panel.
least on the panels.
Well, that's just because I want attention, maybe.
There's a hierarchy. There's viewers, and then there's commenters or chatters, and then there's panelists that actually get on camera.
I almost did a
It's a
live.
flat hierarchy, but it's still a hierarchy.
Yeah, but I almost did a live stream of me cooking that fucking country fried steak, but I didn't do it. And now the consensus is in, and they say it's good. And I thought it was bad.
The chicken fried steak.
Yeah, I didn't taste it, but I
Well, how do you know it's bad?
just the way it looked, I thought I burned it. You know.
Oh, at least it's not undercooked.
Yeah.
Not laws. I might actually agree with you here. The schools are the danger of the schools are the physical and ideological safety, and the internet is like mental, emotional, ideological, everything but physical. But I think both are dangerous. So I think you're right. If we're going to say schools are dangerous, we also have to recognize the dangers of the alternative methods of education as well, which is the internet.
Did they have cameras in your classroom?
Not in mine, but you did have to leave the door open. You could never be. I mean, you could be alone by yourself, but if there was at least any single kid in your room, then you had to have the door open.
That's. I think the schools need cameras in the classroom because it seems like the
They
kids
may
will
have them
behave
now.
better. Because it's like, well, that's the weird thing. When you saw that internet stuff happening and stuff like, from what I see, like the schools now, they're all computers in the classroom. The teacher turns out to be an assistant to the computers. It seems like what I've noticed in New York schools, at least. But it's just like there's too many computers in the classroom. It seems like, but it's like the kids, if they were home, at least the parents can watch because like the schools and the teachers in this area have actually changed so much that they're all like politically like like loonies. Like they worry about the kid is where they're voting and stuff, and they're trying to lower the voting age to 16 here, so it's getting ridiculous.
Is that? Do they have 16? Do they have? Is there 16 voting age anywhere?
I think you can actually vote at 17 with like an absentee vote or something like that they're trying to make it with. Like that's what Pelosi was trying to do before she left. Was lower the grade, the age.
Why would anyone 16 years old be allowed to vote? I mean,
Well, they want to lower it to get the kids into the stuff because they have all the illegals in the schools now.
uh,
I just put a channel in the chat from Deb Philman. Her whole channel is mostly about what's going on in the schools these days, how they work, what they look like, how policies are made, curriculum, etc.
am I wrong for wishing for death so that I don't have to deal with any of this fucking nonsense anymore? All of it,
What
Ah,
nonsense.
all of it.
You're not wrong for wishing, but you'd definitely be wrong for doing it.
Oh well, okay.
But
he
it's
thinks I'm
probably a
dancing.
normal response to whatever nonsense you're talking about? Are you talking about like the upcoming political nonsense?
I'm talking about the nonsense that is the world. I mean, everything is fucking
It's it's
ridiculous.
it's always nuts. And people have always been not. What point of human history was not nonsense, where you didn't have to deal with other people and their nonsense?
I don't know.
Like to me, this is it's not any more nonsense than people have always been. I guess just a different type, or we're in the
Well,
next
we're,
phase
we're
of
more
nonsense.
we're more aware of humanity now because we have panels on YouTube that we can come up on, and we can interact with mentally ill people on a scale never before seen.
Good thing I work in mental health. Yes, yes, you're right. Yeah, I've been thinking about that. It's certainly recalibrating my sense of what I thought normal was, like the baseline of humanity. Like most people are more or less like this. People are way more diverse than any conception of them you can come up with.
Well, I used to think I was smart until I came up on YouTube, and now I've met some other people who blow me away. So I learned something from it. But on the other hand, it's like, I've seen a lot of mental illness or something that should pass for mental illness, and it's depressed me a little bit. You know.
Yeah, there's that. I here in Seattle they have the concept of community mental health, where they just kind of accept mental health people as part of life. So they're in the they're in the grocery stores, they're on the streets, they're in the restaurants. So people it's like normalized for people. I think for people that don't live in those environments, getting to see it just be part of social, cultural, political life has value. It destigmatizes. People can see. I mean, they hear the word crazy people, and now they can see what crazy actually looks like in very specific, particular forms, and how diverse it is.
Yeah, I mean,
They can
I
see it.
never.
They could touch it. They have a reality to attach to it now.
There are people on YouTube who just want to present themselves in a certain light, and they will stop at nothing, including talking over everyone to get their point across, and no one is listening. It's just like, who the fuck are you trying to convince? Yourself or others? I mean, because if you're trying to convince others, they're not listening. But when you try to convince yourself, why do you need YouTube to get on there and do that? Like, I don't understand some of these mental issues that some of these people have.
Some of it is like the panel host, and they go on the panels where they get a platform or a voice, and they can do that.
Mm.
I mean, I know they should just get a snap camera if they're
Yeah,
trying
it's
to just pass themselves off as something else.
Well, I mean, I'm on YouTube and I do my own stream and everything, and I put myself out there. And if anybody ever made fun of me as much as they make fun of a certain individual that I've seen, I would never come
Just
back to YouTube again.
just
Like,
one,
huh?
just one.
No, there,
Just
there are entire channels dedicated to the
you
single.
really have to have a thick skin to do this, because people are anybody in the world could see you. The worst people are going to see you, or have the potential to see you, and it's probable that some will see you. And people are going to say the worst, most hateful things that humanity is capable of coming up with and saying about other humans. So
But
that's just like a default going in. At minimum, that's going to happen.
but it doesn't affect me because I know who I am. I don't care what some random on YouTube says.
the drama comes in where it comes from people within the communities that you've built connections with and thought they were friends or panel friends or something, but because all the drama, then you hear it from people not strangers, and so it's a little closer to home.
Maybe.
But as far as just, I mean, you're taking a risk by putting yourself on camera, and so people are going to think what they're going to think. But I'm used to my whole life. I've been used to people thinking horrible things about me and me not caring. But if you haven't developed that skin, I think that's one of the essentials for doing this.
Yeah, I would say.
And I think you just develop it by continuing to do it.
I don't know, man. I've been through what I call the window of death. You know, like I've seen some shit that would blow a normal human away, and when you come back from it, someone making fun of you is the least of your problems.
Yeah.
I don't care
Doesn't
what.
help though.
No, but I don't care what another person says about me. You know, it's like, well, you don't live my life. You're not in my reality tunnel. You don't
I
understand what my exact purpose is. You know.
I hear you. I've noticed it just a lot more with the online people. Like they just I think gravitate more to negativity stuff than freaking positivity. It's just weird how like they like to pile on. It just seems
It's
like
I think it's dysfunction. I think they probably come from abusive or dysfunctional backgrounds, and that's what's more normal to them than doing it healthy ways or having healthy experiences. So they're going to gravitate to the people that they're most comfortable with, which is the people that perpetuate the patterns of dysfunction, the same ones they're caught up in. There's like a certain familiarity and comfort there.
Mm.
And I didn't grow up with that, so I'm trying to find the people that try to do it the healthy way.
Did you have brothers and sisters, Jeff?
I did. I'm the oldest, and then we got a couple of steps along the way that were about my age. So we were like a Brady Bunch family. There were six of us, if you count the steps.
Hmm.
The wife, the husband, and the six kids in the station wagon.
Do you stay in contact with them, or
Facebook,
yeah,
yeah, and I visit now and then.
that's cool.
But we're not close. I wish we were closer. But they all have families, very busy,
Yeah.
doing their own thing. It's not a drama thing. It's just, I guess, logistics. We're just all focused on our own thing.
Some people have lives and we don't.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah. I'm trying to get a life, but part of it is ever since COVID, this has been my life for 4 years. This has been my life, and I didn't have that great of a life, a real life, in person life before COVID.
Yeah.
This is definitely an upgrade, and so it's really hard to go from this to something else in person.
For me, this is a low point because I always had a job and I was always around people, and and YouTube is my way of interacting with humanity at this point.
Hmm.
You know, I mean, I don't see people. Even when I go to the grocery store, all they do is give me a weird look and look away. You know.
I don't even pay attention to people or really interact with them when I'm out. Like if they smile and say hey, I'll be friendly, but outside of that, I leave them alone and I do my own thing. So I'm not even looking to interact with people when I leave. And part of that's a cultural feature of being up here. If I was in the South or some other place, I'd probably be a lot more engaged. But this is just kind of a very aloof culture to begin with. And the expectation is you give people their space. So that's what I do.
I
But
look
like trying to
everyone.
find do what?
No, I look everyone in the eye just to fuck with them.
Oh. I I don't do that because I don't want. We got a lot of sketchy people. I don't want to catch the wrong attention. If you're too friendly to the wrong person, then can
Yeah.
attach themselves, and so I deliberately like try to stay fixed on my own things so I don't draw the wrong attention to myself.
Yeah. I
But
can
like
see.
I'll do it with the cashier or something. I'll make eye contact and chat friendly while they ring up the groceries.
Hmm. So you don't like yell at them and call them a cunt and
Mm-mm.
you
That's
know.
if they look like they're open to it. A lot of them just want to they're not people person either. They just want to check the groceries and not talk. But some of them like to be polite and
Yeah,
how's your day?
there's this disabled woman. She's a cashier and she loves to talk. Oh my god, it's like that's all she does is talk, and she's so bent over from her spinal problems that she looks like she's literally like doubled over, you know.
Oh,
But she likes people.
mm-hmm. Yep. That's they used to have the Walmart greeters growing up. It was the little old ladies, sometimes the little old men
Yeah,
that would greet you when you come in, and they were so friendly. They were so glad to see other people walk through the door and get to say hi to them. Whoever thought of that, Walmart or whatever, that was a really kind of little special thing to add at the
I
very beginning of your shopping trip.
I don't like that shit because it seems phony to me. When someone is told to say hello to me from a corporation,
But what if it's a little old lady,
who
little
cares?
grandma?
Who
You're like
cares?
that corporate tool. She better get out of my way.
Yeah, it's
I'm
fucking
like, oh, hi to you too, man. I hope you have a good day. Like I just
no.
melt. I'm so vulnerable to that.
I say hello to them back, but I don't like the fact that they are forced to be friendly to me.
They're not forced. They either I don't know if it's paid or volunteer, but they seek out that. I think it's a coveted position. They're not forced. In fact, I think if they weren't genuine, most of them probably wouldn't last long. Like it'd be very hard to have a Walmart greeter with some of the personalities of the people up here,
Okay,
like the stink eye and the
but
glare
sometimes
at you when you
it's
walk in.
forced. Sometimes it's forced. I went to Burger King the other day, and I'm at the fucking drive-through, and I said I want, a Whopper number one, Whopper with cheese, and she goes, "Okay, thank you for your order. You rule." Do you think that I appreciated hearing her say "you rule" to me? Like that made me feel good, like, oh,
I would have thought, oh, cool, yeah, you rule too, yeah.
no, man, it's they say that shit. They're made to say that.
Well, and they're not Walmart greeters anyway. So fast food people, I don't have the same expectation of. But I never expect a rude Walmart greeter. That's just so antithetical to their whole mission for being there. Although
I,
I did curse out the Walmart lady one time. I was real ugly with her, and that's going to be one of the sins on my soul. I'm not going to heaven, so wherever I go tabulate my sins, that's going to be one of them. I already know. I was in a very bad mood that day. I had just moved back to Louisiana. I didn't want to be there at all, and I took it out on her.
what'd
And
you do?
well, I had to go make a return, and she's like, "Hi, welcome to Walmart. Oh, is that a return?" And I had the receipt in my hand. I was holding the item and the receipt, and I'm like, "Yes, it's a return. Doesn't it look like a return? I have the receipt right here at the box. Can't you see it? It's obviously a return." And she was like almost in tears. She's like, "I just have to circle the receipt. I'm sorry." And I felt horrible. She didn't deserve that.
You are a monster.
I was a demon. That I didn't have the tools I have today.
Hey Jeff, I'm gonna hop off, man. I got to do some stuff in the back. So nice seeing you, though, man.
Omar, I hope you come back.
Thanks, man. It's been fun.
Very
Nice
very nice
meeting
to
you.
see
I
you.
I can't really pronounce your name. How do you say that?
Zatoichi.
Zatalichi. Nice to meet you.
You too, Omar.
Have a great day, and I guess I'll see you on the flip side.
Yeah.
Yes, wherever that is. It might even be here.
Have a great night.
Take care, Omar.
Bye.
I like that little trash fiend, whatever he is.
Trash bean.
Satan.
Oscar
That's my
regret.
lord. Actually, that was my deity that just dropped by. Um, So thank you. Hail Satan.
Well, I'm gonna get out of here. You know why?
To go eat your steak.
No,
Oh,
because I'm gonna go take 3 Advil PM and see what happens.
why three? That sounds like a lot. You
No,
doing
man,
okay? You doing
I'm
okay?
alright. I'm alright. I'm not
All right.
afraid of dying. You know.
Yeah, but don't you? There'll be plenty of time for that. don't don't rush it. We
Yeah.
enjoy you here.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
No,
no, just
I'm not gonna kill myself with 3 Advil PM. I mean,
I
that's
know, but you said some stuff earlier, and you kind of have ideas or impulses, and just
well, I'm the type of person who uh, understands the temporariness of life, and I'm not gonna be upset if it gets cut short for me. You know, because everything is temporary. You can live
right,
for 1,000 years and you're still gonna die. You know.
right. You will, but in the meantime, you can enjoy and appreciate the gift that it is.
Yeah, I suppose.
But like, if things get too bad, reach out. I'm serious.
No, thank you, man.
You
I'm
don't.
fine. I'm fine. Don't worry
Okay,
about me, man. My purpose in life is to serve others, and as long as I'm doing that, then that's I'm good.
okay.
So
And at least reconsider the quantity of Advil. Maybe start with one and see if it makes you feel a little better. That's all. But I do
okay.
hope we see. I do hope we see you tomorrow. We see
If
you
you
again.
don't see me tomorrow, you'll know that fucking acetaminophen was my end.
Hey, I worked in a hospital. I'm gonna tell you a story because the little kids that came into the psych ward, a lot of them were Tylenol overdoses, and there was a story of this one girl that Tylenol is dangerous. Too much Tylenol will fuck you up and can
Yeah,
kill you.
yeah,
And she OD'd on Tylenol, and they had her in the ER, and they were able to revive her for long enough for the doctor to tell her that she was going to die and they could not save her. And she woke up thinking that she had made it out, and they had to tell her that her liver was so damaged there was nothing they can do for her, and they just kind of sat there and talked to her till she died. That's some scary shit. So Tylenol is nothing to fuck with.
no, I know. Well, you can take too much vitamin A and it will kill you. Like I mean, you have to be careful with anything. But
Yeah. Well, be careful with yourself and stick around. And
all right, thank you, man. I
we'll
appreciate it.
okay, we'll see you tomorrow.
All right, see you.
All right, take care of that. All right. Well, that was nice. That was almost an hour today. So what I'll probably do is wrap up here. I do know that Just Us from Australia had talked about coming up, and so I don't know if you still want to come up or if you want to do it again, like another day. I'll be here tomorrow, and then Saturday I'll be doing a all day stream. I'm gonna try to go to for 12 hours or 11:59, whatever the StreamYard limit is, and that's probably Sunday for the Aussies. So yeah, just are you on Discord, Just Us? I guess just keep chat with me on YouTube. We can set something up. 'Cause- So I guess that's it for now, and everyone have a good rest of your day, and I will more than likely be back out in the evening. So thank you, everyone. Not lost. Believe it or not, it is good to see you. I do enjoy you. I I don't want an echo chamber, and you definitely keep it from being one. And I'm serious when I say I appreciate that. So, all right, take care, everybody, and I'll see you again. Let's see.